bring back former CIA covert operations officer Mike Baker. Mike, Air Canada is saying that they have no record of a passenger by the name of Esteban Santiago or check guns on any of its flights to Fort Lauderdale. What are your thoughts there?
Well, I think in the immediate aftermath of this, it's probably not surprising that there may be some confusion with databases and verifying passenger manifests and records. So I suspect if the police reporting is correct in the identification of the perpetrator and the fact that he did have a checked weapon on board, that, Air Canada will end up, clarifying and identifying the records that they're looking for probably right now.
All right, there's more breaking news. Alaska National Guard Esteban Santiago was, we're hearing, a member of the Alaska National Guard, and he was released with a general discharge in August of 2016. We are also getting reports that he had several brushes with the law when he lived in Alaska. Now, Mr. Baker, here's the issue. It seems that he may have gotten in with an expired military ID. How did that happen?
Well, I mean, the unsatisfying answer is this, all of this is a human endeavor. So whether you're talking about something like this with this tragic, crime, or whether you're talking about any, incident where information isn't matched up or people aren't identified and linked up and something's prevented, it is, I guess, it's a human chain of events. That's why we talk about in this world of counterterrorism, as an example, you never reduce the risk down to zero. As much as we'd like to and as close as we try to get it to zero, ultimately, you can't do that. You're not going to reduce the risk. Mike, here's a question that the viewer, I think, and the people of Florida. Now, I mean, it's extremely rare for us, the U.S., to have an airport shooting, but certainly over in Europe, let's just go through it. We had the Istanbul airport in July 2016, 42 dead, more than 230 injured. Brussels International, 14 dead, over 200 injured. Also, Moscow airport there, Karachi, Pakistan. Airport shootings it seems, are on the rise. What is Homeland Security doing before the fact to protect airports? Well, first of all, on the flip side, what you don't see is all the incidents or potential targeted attacks that don't take place because they are identified and disrupted or prevented. So I want to throw that out there. But in terms of the airport shootings, look, I mean, we've talked about this in the past in terms of the perimeter of the security ring on any airport. And the idea that when you have an incident like this, which takes place before the security perimeter, or people pass through the TSA security, what can we do about it? How do you prevent something like this? Do you push that security perimeter out? Well, you know what you do at that point. Then you push the problem a little bit further out, and you create potentially more of an issue. So, the airlines or the airports and Homeland Security, it's not as if they haven't been agonizing with these questions for a long time, but there is an understanding. Anybody who's worked in counterterrorism knows this. As I pointed out before, you can't prevent everything as much as we'd like to do it. And if you do, that means you've locked down society to the point where nobody wants to live in that type of world. So you've got to constantly be looking for that proper balance.
Mike, there's no indication that this was a terrorist shooting. There were terrorism anywhere involved. We just put up on the screen a graphic showing the airport attacks in the past. FBI is involved. We have first responders on the scene. Again, there's no indication just yet that this Florida International Airport involves terrorist shootings. But, Mike, you're always great to have on. We love having you on the show. Please come back soon, okay?